Nintendo's not a company known for taking risks with its most successful properties, and even less known for letting third-party developers near them. Well, for whatever reason, Nintendo's let Omega Force and Team Ninja near Zelda. Team Ninja was the primary developer behind Metroid Other M, so they aren't a complete stranger to working with Nintendo. But as for Omega Force, let's just say that their usual simple warrior style isn't really what you think of when you think Zelda. Zelda's all about solving puzzles and adventuring around Hyrule, not randomly hacking away at hordes of enemies and causing huge damage with flashy attacks. When this game was announced, as a Zelda fan who never played any of the Dynasty Warriors games, I was super stoked, as it was the last thing you expected to ever happen. Did playing the game change things? Did the forces of evil take this game, or is it a shining light? Hyrule Warriors has a pretty un-Zelda-like story. It all begins with a dream, which is not unheard of for the series, but quickly changes when Hyrule Castle is besieged by monsters. Zelda and her familiar attendant Impa leap into battle to defend the castle. Joining them is a brave trainee who is none other than Link, of course. The person behind the attacks? A dark sorceress by the name of Sia. Her and her two lackeys, Wizro and Volga, are trying to overthrow Zelda and claim Hyrule, and in the case of Sia, Link, for themselves. A light sorceress by the name of Lana joins them and they fight Sia's forces off. It's not really a deep story, but it does involve time travel at one point, letting characters from previous Zelda games join the fray. The story has some twists and turns, but nothing that anyone who played Twilight Princess would miss. It's an entertaining story in a couple of points, especially Sia's obsession of Link. So while it doesn't rewrite history, it is a fun way to get these characters together. Not to mention I feel Lana and Sia are good additions. Hyrule Warriors gameplay is not that much different than the other Warriors games, but that doesn't mean it's exactly the same. Just like in Warriors, you play as your selected character and run around the large, semi-open battlefield and hack away at enemies. Each stage has keeps and enemy battalions scattered about, and your goal is to take the keeps and to defeat the enemy commanders. There are two attack buttons, the Y and X buttons. Y is your basic attack and you end strings with the X button to do more powerful combos. It's very simple, but it's a lot of fun, and each of the main characters play differently, making them more fun to learn. The only real problem with the basic gameplay is that's all you end up doing. Take all the keeps and kill all the commanders you see. Every story mission stays that way, but it's a way to keep the story going the way they want. The stages themselves are also pretty simple and flat. There isn't any interaction with the environment or allies either, making this extremely simple. The fact that it's so simple would be a bad thing if it wasn't for how fun the basic gameplay is. The story has you jumping from character to character if you prefer, but the game usually keeps you to Link, which is fine as he's the easiest to use and is pretty fun to use as well. As you play the story, you unlock characters and a couple of the weapons in the game, but some characters and most weapons are locked behind one of the other modes. More on that in a bit. Other than just progressing through the story, each story stage has two things you can collect: gold skulltulas and heart pieces or containers. The skulltulas unlock a piece of an illustration. Complete an illustration to unlock some pretty neat rewards. The heart pieces and containers do exactly what they do in Zelda games: increase your health. Your health also gets increased as you level up, which you do in the same way as in most RPGs: kill enemies. As you fight and kill enemies, you'll find materials and weapons. Weapons are self-explanatory, but the materials are used to create badges. The badges are passive power-ups that drastically improve your ability to fight. They give bonuses that range from massive, such as extended combo strings, to the most passive, such as gaining more defenses on fire elemental stages, which is something that's not really that bothersome really. You can also visit a smith that lets you transfer skills from one weapon to another, provided they have an empty slot, the apothecary, which lets you improve your potions for the next battle, and a training dojo that lets you level up new characters. All this is paid for with series traditional rupees, which are pretty much everywhere in the battlefield, which brings us to the Zelda elements of the game. Not only are rupees back, but so are hearts, fairy fountains, grass to cut, and of course, bosses that require newly acquired items to defeat. You find familiar Zelda items throughout your adventure, and each one helps defeat a boss, and some even help out in the environment, such as bombs. They might just be a throwaway addition in general, but they are a welcome one as they are Zelda staples. You'll also find treasure chests scattered about, and they usually contain rupees or weapons, but some contain the previously mentioned heart pieces or containers. All these items, badges, level ups, and heart containers are needed if you are to tackle which is arguably the game's main mode, Adventure Mode. Adventure Mode is a positively massive undertaking. Not only does this mode hide some characters and weapons, it also hides the majority of the heart pieces, containers, and gold skulltulas. The mode is actually set up pretty uniquely as well. Remember the original Legend of Zelda map, the one on NES? That's the challenge select for Hyrule Warriors' Adventure Mode. You move an 8-bit version of the last character you played as around the map, and each screen of the original Classics map is a unique challenge. These challenges can be downright brutal. Fighting multiple bosses at once with a weak character is not what I'd call easy. Each mission provides their own challenge, and you can choose to tackle them with any character, usually. There are some challenges that limit what character you can use, and often the hearts or skulltulas can only be achieved by certain characters and by getting certain ranks. It's a pretty in-depth mode, and these challenges are the meat of the game and will prove an amazing undertaking for any Warriors or Zelda fan. Not only is the map large and the challenges many, the way you move around is unique. Your starting point is the original game's starting point, and your progression is limited by your own performance as well as the game's geography. For example, did you get a B rank in a challenge? Well, then you can only go right. To go up, you need to get an A, and to go left, you need to get an S. That is just one example of how you'll progress, as you'll sometimes find items from the original Zelda to help you progress, or even find rewards. It's a very interesting mode, and it's a very welcome addition to what could have been a simple throwaway action game. Hyrule Warriors has the honor of technically being the first original HD Zelda game, and while it doesn't look the best, it has its bright spots. The character models look great, and the monsters all look like they did in their respective games, but the environments are very simple looking. The new character designs for the new Zelda, Impa, and Link are all great, as are the new characters, especially Sia's design. That mask is awesome looking, and the returning characters made a great leap to HD. The cutscenes are great to watch, but some of the story scenes are simply character portraits with a narrator speaking over them. Yes, you read that right. There's a narrator and she does a fine job getting the point across, even if that's all she does. The music, on the other hand, is mostly hard rock remixes of classic Zelda tracks, and while some of them are really awesome, some didn't really change a lot. You can also play the game in 2-player local co-op with one person on the gamepad and one person on the TV screen, but it does a number on the performance, which is something that gets affected every now and then anyway. On the whole, Hyrule Warriors won't set the world on fire with its presentation, but it does look good. Despite Hyrule Warriors' simplicity in its average story, it was a game I greatly enjoyed. It's not perfect, but it oddly became one of my favorite games in the Wii U, and it's a game I'll probably be playing for a good long while. The story was fun, the characters are enjoyable to play as, and the choices are pretty great, and that adventure mode is incredible. Link's first original HD outing might not be what we had been expecting, but it's a lengthy and challenging adventure that should not be missed by any Warriors fan or any Zelda fan. Hyrule Warriors has each piece of the Triforce firmly secured, fun characters, tight gameplay, and an adventure worth undertaking. This is one game I'll be recommending to my grave. Seize your destiny, reach for your sword, hold it skyward, and drive away the evil plaguing Hyrule. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Why don't you let me know what you think in the comments below? And if you're up to it, why don't you check out one of our other reviews or a Let's Play that's going on. Until next time, see you later.